Hello, my name's Stephen Knight. The topic of this tutorial is Windows 8 key features. This is actually the first in a series of tutorials on Windows 8 key features, and I'm going to start with one particular aspect of Windows 8. Now, you've probably heard in the media, in the computer media, that Windows 8 doesn't have a start button. And Windows 8 not having a start button is a big problem, although I'm here to suggest it's not such a big issue. But nevertheless, because there is a perception that end users need the Windows 8 start button in order to be able to do anything, there is a ecosystem of third-party applications that substitute different replacement start buttons has evolved, has sprung up. So my suggestion to you is this different way of looking at it. As a trainer, my observation is that the start menu is not necessarily something everybody got to grips with anyway. At the beginning of courses, you can spend a minute or two getting people to the right spot in the start menu to find their apps. So maybe the start menu, its attraction is more, it's what people knew. It's not necessarily the best way to get people to their apps. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with Windows 8, having a look at the tiles, how all of that works. I'm going to suggest that the tile approach might actually be better, and you'll see why. And we'll also have a look at searching in Windows 8 as well. So if you can give me a few minutes, I'm hoping I can give you a different way of looking at this. Okay, here we are looking at the Windows 8 desktop. And what we see on here is the home screen with our tiles on it. Now, it's different. A good way I've seen suggested of thinking of this is start button, start menu goes. What we have in its place is a start screen. Now, it's easy enough to work with. There's a few things we need to know. To get to tiles further out to the right, if we're not using a touch screen, and I'm on a desktop screen here at the moment, conventional desktop PC, is I use the scroll bar at the bottom to move out to the right to see the tools that I've got further off to the right. Now, initially that's a bit frustrating. You've got to move backwards and forwards to get to things. And then I saw one of the Microsoft Jumpstart presentations, and they showed what I'm about to show you in another context, and that's when the penny dropped, that this is in fact a better way to do things. What they did was move the tiles around. The idea here, as I would see it, is that you have the things people are most likely to use on the left, and the things that are less likely to use, you put them off to the right where they scroll out to get to them. So the idea here is that you can customise, or the end user can customise, the arrangement of the tiles to suit themselves. So what I'm going to do here, I need to make a group of tools for content creation. So what I'm going to do here is grab the camera and move that tile. Now where I'm going to put this, I could move it into an existing group, but you'll notice if I position it here between two groups, I get this vertical grey bar, and I can drop that in there and start a new group. So that's to give me access to my video camera. And I've got a few other things that I want to make available in this little content creators group. So I'm going to grab the movie maker and head over to the left here and put that in there. That's the Windows Movie Maker. You can get that from the Windows Essential 2010 kit that you can download. I'll get Camtasia Studio, and we'll put that over here in the group as well. And so basically you can just grab what you need, move it around, and start making your own groups. Very, very easy to do. So just to recap, to start a new group, you move the tile between existing groups and then you'll see that grey border appears. We can drop into that zone. So, very easy to reorganise. So the trick here, I think, is we look at this a little bit differently. In previous setups with the start button, everybody got basically the same structure. With this, I could see from a corporate point of view that you organise the tiles so that different areas get a different set of tiles on the left based on what they use. Ask them, what do they use? Let's put that stuff over here on the left so it's really easy to get to. Now, let's do a couple of other sneaky little things here, and then I'll touch on a couple of keyboard shortcuts. I want to name this group, so what I'm going to do is click the little icon, little minimise icon in the bottom right hand corner, and I have my group here that I can select a group. I'm just going to go back there again, and what I want to do is I've just right clicked on it, so I've got that group selected, and I'm going to choose name group, and I'm going to call this my content creation group because I use this to create content. And I can just click to zoom back out, and there it is. There's my content creation group. So very easy, and end users can do this. If they realise they're scrolling out to the right to get to something, just move it over to the left into a convenient spot that you can get to it easily. So I think that is better than the start menu where you always had to follow a set path to get to something, so that you put what you use over here on the left, the rest of it is out to the right. Now just a few keyboard shortcuts here that people might find useful. Windows key D to get to the desktop. I'm just going to tap the Windows key again to get back to the home screen. Another one that's very, very useful is shutting down. If I go Windows key I, it brings up the settings panel on the right here, and you'll notice I've got power, and from here I can get to all the conventional shutdown, restart, those sorts of things from here. Not going to do that right at the moment because if I shut down it's going to kind of make the rest of the tutorial a bit tricky. So that's Windows key I. If I want to lock my workstation, Windows key L, then you just re-enter your password. So it's very, very easy. A couple of basic keyboard shortcuts to do some key things that people need to be able to do. Now, you want to search. People are thinking, where do I click? This drove me nuts for a couple of days. How do you search? All you have to do is don't click anywhere. Just start typing. So I'm looking for SharePoint podcasts. I know I've got. So as I start typing SharePoint, you'll notice I'm seeing a filter for apps that are SharePoint apps. So if I keep typing here and go SharePoint podcast, and I've got no results because there are no apps, there are no settings, but if I go to files, I've got my SharePoint podcast files, and this is Hilton Geese Now's very, very good SharePoint podcast, which I recommend to you. You can get it through iTunes. So very easy to search. Just type in your search term and then choose, is it an app I'm looking for, settings, or is it files? And done. How easy is that? That, I think, people will find is easier than what they used to have to do with searching. Also, this is searching as well as metadata. It's searching content as well. So very, very nice. That's it for the moment with Windows 8. This is obviously not a complete introduction to Windows 8. I just wanted to address there's no start button. This is all very, very difficult. You can see that if you make sure that your end users know a few basic things, maybe just a short 15-minute session before they get Windows 8. So for a big corporate, you could do rolling short sessions before you move to before people go back to their computers and Windows 8. Couple of quick things there, just takes care of a lot of the problems that would generate perhaps unnecessary help desk calls. So I'm hoping you found that useful. I'm planning more of these on Windows 8 and also Windows 2013. And if you want to know when more come out, if you use the subscribe option in YouTube, then you'll be advised when I've added additional podcasts. So thank you for your attention.